Today is the 17th of June, year 2011. We are on the second day of the special health retreat in Nurse House in England. Before we start the session this morning, I would like to invite the bell, and we will come back to ourselves, relax and enjoy the present moment. In the session this morning, we will learn about why we usually get sick more and more nowadays, and why we have too many different kind of food, of nutrition. We have a lot of new technology, much more the comfortable living condition. We have a lot of doctors, a lot of healthcare profession, but why the sickness it seems to be increasing, and the chronic disease it seems increasing day after day. By learning that, we will have capacity to recognize the cause of that, and with the mindful breathing, the way to come back to listen to our body, our mind, we can transform all of that cause of illness, with the hope that we will have a healthy body, mind, and liberate our spiritual life. So actually we have many causes can lead to our sickness, our weakness. But if we categorize it in a big group, we can narrow them down in kind of 4 different major groups. The first one means our body accumulate too much toxin inside of it. So for the question where the toxin come from, it comes from internally and externally. Internally, every single moment our body has a lot of different biological reaction, metabolism. So during the process of burning the energy, the material to supply the heat for the body, to carry out all the basic function in our body. For example, the work of our heart, our liver, and the heart had to pump out the blood through the circulation. The lung had to work to exchange the oxygen and the carbonic. The kidney had to filter 100 liters of blood every day. So even though we don't do nothing, we just sit still or lay down still, our body still has to carry out all that basic function. To doing that, it has to burn all of the material we supply through our mouth, through our contact, through our mind, into the energy. And the byproduct of that becomes a toxic for our body. For example, when the metabolism carry out, one of that byproduct is carbonic. That air, if it not be eliminated out of our body, it will cause damage. Or some other old or abnormal cell, it will have the radical, or that radical will attack to the cell membrane and cause the damage. They get stick together and it becomes the cluster of cell, and from that it will isolate that group and become the initiate of the cancer cell. Or for example, when we eat our food, the digestive system has to digest, absorb, and push out whatever cannot absorb into our body. If we don't have a bowel movement regularly and often at the circadian rhythm set up, the accumulated of the gas build up in our intestine will become the toxic gas, and it re-penetrate into our bloodstream. So we have a lot of internal toxin as a byproduct of our body metabolism to carry out the basic function. Besides that, we have more and more toxin in our food nowadays, especially not only the toxin we ingest through our mouth. Now we have more way to push or to get the toxin into our body. For example, through our nose by the air pollution, through our eyes because of the bad image, the violation, all of the advertisement picture, all of the sound we hear through our ear, all of the electromagnetic field in the air, through the radar station, through the television channel, and through our urinary tract. For example, the sexual transmitted disease, and through our skin, through our blood, by all of the insect, all of the blood transmitted disease. So in the old time, our people uses that the sickness caused by the mouth and the suffering also caused by our mouth. That means in the old time they think the majority of sickness or the toxin being put into our body mostly through our mouth. And if we say unnicely, unwholesome word to people, and we are in trouble. But nowadays, not only through our mouth, we have a much more way for the toxin to get into our body. That's why the input is about 5, 6 or 8 fold more than output. One reason. The other reason, in the old time, we have the tendency to work with our hand more. We do exercise or we work on our feet more. Nowadays, because we have all the living conditions, it's too comfortable. We have a car, we have all the public transportation, and we have many different industries. So we have a tendency to work less, to exercise less, and to stay indoor more. That's why the capacity of our body to eliminate the toxin out our body become less. And the input more, the output less. What happened? Accumulated over time. And another reason, in the old time, most of the food we eat from nature, right? We produce it naturally and we eat it freshly. But now we have a lot of chemical, fertilizer, insecticide, pesticide, spray before the fruit or the vegetable be collected. And we have a much more other chemical for the preservation, and we add on after the fruit or the vegetable be collected. And with the development of the food industry, we have the way to preserve the food. Not only the manufacturer put the chemical to preserve the food, they have many, more than 1,500 other chemicals to add in the food to make the food more delicious, to make our sense be addicted, to make our fat tissue grow more, so the food or the chemical can retain in that to make people become sick, so they can make more money. So they have many different ways to put the chemical, the toxin in our food. And then, for convenience, we eat more processed food than the naturally produced food. That's why the input again more and the output less. With all of that reason, our body becomes the storage of the toxin. And especially for the Westerner, European and North American, we have a tendency to consume more than our body needs. So that's why our body have a less capacity, less space to put the toxin out. Instead of in this situation we have no choice or less choice of the organic food or the clean food. If we eat less, if we exercise more, our body will have a more tendency to push out the toxin. In less, out more. Or if we have some day during this season we fast, that means we let out instead of bread. We don't put more in, but we let it out. So in that way it can clean up, it can detox our body. So that is the first reason. The second reason relates to the nutritional deficiency. Nutritional deficiency, it have many different aspects. For the poor country, people don't have enough food to eat. They don't have enough protein intake, so they have a nutritional deficiency by the lack of food, the lack of protein or fatty acid. But for the Westerner, our society, as we already mentioned in the first cause of illness, we have too many ways of produce our food unnaturally. Naturally, eat food, eat vegetable, it have its own way of balance itself. But now we try to use genetic technology. We select whatever we want, not the natural selection. So that is the first and the original way of making it in balance. Secondly, after we collect the product, if we use the whole product, for example, if we have an apple, we eat a whole apple. If we have a carrot or a potato, we use the whole thing with the skin. But most of the time, we try to eliminate the skin, and about 60 to 80% of all of the mineral or the substance laid out in the skin are just behind, just below the skin. And by eliminate all that, first we waste of the food from the nature. Secondly, we eliminate a large portion of nutrition or mineral. So even though we eat a lot, but the more we eat, the more imbalance in our body. The other thing, we, especially people, want a convenient, fast, instant. We try to eat the processed food. We don't eat fresh, new, harvest fruit or vegetable. So the more processed food we eat, the less energy we have. Because think about that. If it goes through too many different processes, more chemical be added in, and the energy, or what we call the life force, disappear. it just have a material on the desk material left only. It have no life force much in the processed food. The universe, the sunlight, the humidity give all that energy into the vegetable, and the animal eat all that and convert into its own energy. So if we had a way to eat the fresh vegetable or fresh animal, we will have more energy, more life force, and we consume it, but we have more energy, and it's balanced. Now we eliminate some portion of that, so it's in balance. And then if we eat more processed food, the energy on the life force is less, so we need to eat more to have enough energy required by our body. So in that way, our body become bigger, looser, but the energy for working, for maintain the basic activity become less. That's why we feel tired, not really energetic. So that is the other reason why we become sickness. Whatever imbalance in our body become the sickness, become unhealthy. The material, the same thing, the physiology, the same token. And if the physical and the physiology imbalance, our mentally will follow the same path, because all of that will connect or mutual together. Especially very powerful, and it affects our body and our society nowadays, is the electrical magnetic field charge. We are being covered from the top of our head to our toe throughout 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And even though we don't think that it will affect our body, our mind during the night, but that's at the time we be attacked a lot, unconsciously. Think about that. Now we have everywhere the electronic device. We have a few 100,000 radar station. We have a lot of satellite, and we have a few 100,000 television tower, cell phone tower. Every single centimeter we can turn on a cell phone, a television, a radio to catch up a station, a channel. But within a few hundred channels sent out through the satellite, through all that house, how many percent of that channel do you think it have a peaceful, healthy information? Or most of them is violence, fear, despair, worriness, and sexual stimulation, sexual seduction. So everywhere, especially if we not practice, come back to ourselves. If we not practice sitting meditation or staying in stillness, our brain will have a tendency of projection, because that is the way our mind going through for many lifetimes. It we're not a real practitioner. Who are the one to discover or to build up all that radar or satellite station? Our brain. So actually our brain is more powerful than any station or produce or receive the signal. Just because it's so sensitive, it's too delicate, so we cannot recognize that if we are not really mindful. So during the time of daytime, if we not practice, come back to ourselves to close our electromagnetic field, our mind will always project out the thought, the illusion, so the energy or the signal always sent out. The moment when we come back to ourselves, that is the moment we close the circuit or the electromagnetic field around us. So if we practice that oftenly, our body first will preserve its own energy, because every single thought, that is a signal, that is a sound, that is you have a wavelength and it spends our energy. But if we practice, come back to ourselves, first we say the energy we project out by all that thought. We also close our electromagnetic field at a single unit, so we be protected by that shield. If we're not doing that, so our mind will project out the thought or the signal sent out, and the electromagnetic field in the air is much more powerful than ourselves. So that means we be attracted, we draw into that field, and whatever bad information or bad signal will be penetrated in our mind. Especially during the daytime, we don't see much the affected, because we are so busy with many thoughts, many projects, many things to do, many things to think. But during the night time, our unconscious mind start to work, so the consciousness no longer there. So if we don't practice that oftenly, it becomes the habit energy, and it still open the channel. And most of the best information, most of the best channel, usually, they send out at the night time. So all that information, all that back channel energy, it goes through our mind and it gets into the A consciousness, that is the storage consciousness. And we don't know, we really don't know until the condition fulfill and favorable, it goes up into the mind consciousness and it manifests. You see, it's not only ourselves having that bad shit, but every day we got that from all the channel through the storage consciousness every night, unwillingly, but we don't know. If we not practice, come back to ourselves oftenly to close our circuit. When we close our circuit by come back to ourselves, the electromagnetic field from ourselves, it can touch or it can affect our mind minimally. You see, the field now closed, so it can touch only minimum on one point. Instead of when we open, we project out, this one will capture and it attacks all. So that's the main reason why we have a lot of stress, a lot of the disease related to the central nervous system. About more than 70% of the disease, the sickness nowadays, be relate a lot to our central nervous system because of too much stressful event, too much stressful shock through the environment by the electromagnetic field. And from that effect, we cannot work successfully, we cannot have a healthy life. We cannot eat well, we cannot sleep well, and that as a consequence of that, if we cannot eat well, we don't have a good shape, we cannot have a nice sleep, our body will not relax, the toxin cannot be pushed out our body, and then it will accumulate it, and from that, okay, it becomes obstruction inside of our body. So that's the main reason can cause the problem for our body. And yesterday when we talked about the benefit of meditation, relaxation, we already talked most of this activity, the natural feature, the nature already give to the human being. Whenever we feel tired, the body has a capacity to let it relax. And if we don't listen to our body, we try to overwork and overwhelm it. Once in a while, we had a feeling of fainting. It shut down the whole system. It looked like we have electrical panel and we had a fuse for every single machine or a room. If we overuse the power of that room or that machine, the fuse will be broken. It shut down that light. But if we not change, if we not repair, and we try to continue to use like that, it will be heat up the light and it shut down the whole circuit in our house. So the same thing, our body have that capacity. Whenever we not listen to our body, we try to overwork. Sometimes we have a fainting feeling. That is still not really strong. But to protect it completely, sometimes our body will withdraw 100% like a dead person for a few hours, so sometimes for a few days, to protect. And in that moment, not only the physical or the psychological, the mind, then the consciousness, subconsciousness is shut down completely. So that's why nothing can penetrate into our storage consciousness. Because normally when we had a fainting feeling, it just shut down the consciousness only, but the subconsciousness still there. So for example, if we be attacked or hit by a very violent person, at first our body try to produce more adrenaline, pump more blood, more oxygen. So our body have a tendency to either fight back or run away. That's what we call fight or flight. But after it feel that okay, it may lose the battle, it will shut down and we will collapse. So in that situation, if we be continually attacked, hit, beaten, our body will shut down the second layer, that means the subconsciousness. So it not receive any more information. So it not damage the brain cell, or it not get into the storage consciousness. Because otherwise, even though it not shut down the second layer, the subconsciousness, the mind consciousness not accept that, but the energy, the frequency on the fault from the other person attack, it still penetrate through the storage consciousness. And when we wake up again, that information will arrive on our mind consciousness, and it's still damaged internally. And that damaging, okay, is more powerful than the physical damaging. That's why our body, in that certain situation, is shut down from the narrow to the deeper layer. First from the physical level, and then to the mind consciousness level, and then subconsciousness. The same thing when our body have any blockage, any sickness, any wounded internally, any imbalance. If we give it time and stillness, not have anything disturbing, it have a capacity to produce a substance